This is a demonstration for the exercise 2-1, the adjustable. You should have already just started up a imperial drawing with 2 decimal places at least. I see that mine is set to 3 or 4, which is plenty of accuracy for the AutoCAD. If you want to check your accuracy for your units, you just type the command units and go to your drawing units dialog box and set your precision. Looks like we've got 2 decimal places at least, so let's do that. And then we go to angle and we'll set that to at least 2 decimal places. Click OK, and you notice down here in your unit display, your coordinate display, that you now changed it to 2 places. Let's also now perform a zoom all. So we'll type Z, enter, A, enter, and this will zoom to the limits of our screen, and we'll place the 0, 0 as close to the lower left corner as possible. In starting the AutoCAD drawing that we're looking at, it would be good to start this at a 0, 0 location, and we'll work with that small diameter, the 1-inch diameter. We'll make that our first entity. So I'm going to pan. I'm using the mouse wheel, pushing down on the mouse wheel and holding it and pulling the screen to the upper right, and so I can see full where my center point is. There's 0, that is where I want to place my center, and here is your X and Y marked for you in this 2D wireframe environment, working space, so we can see where our 0, 0 is. So we'll start out by drawing a circle. So C, enter, and the first thing it wants to know is the center point, and I'll just type 0, 0. Then it wants to know the radius, which will be 0.5. And I'll zoom up just a little bit. Okay, our next circle that we're going to draw is part of that circular slot to the right of this small circle. Let me rethink that. Let's go ahead and draw the 2-inch circle while we're at it. So I'll type C, enter, to start my circle. The center point will be back at 0, 0, 0, 0, enter. And then the radius for that will be 1. It's a 2-inch diameter. And get that in a little bit better position. Then we're going to draw the circle that's going to be part of the construction for the circular slot. So that's a 1-inch diameter, and it is 3 inches to the right of what we just entered. So I'll use the relative move. I'll draw a circle, C, enter, and the next location, or the location that asks for, I will use relative move. @ for a relative move, and in the X direction I'm going to move 3, and then on the Y direction I'm going to move 0. Press enter, and then the radius will be 0.5. Alright, then the next circle I'm going to draw will be this circle up here that's part of that circular slot. It's 40 degrees from the center over here. So to be able to use my relative move, I have to reset my last point entered to this point. Okay, so I'm going to type ID for identification of point, enter, and 0, 0, enter. Alright, and that resets the last point entered. Then I go C, enter for circle, and the last point entered would be, or the point for the circle would be @ for last point entered, and then we want to go in 3 inches, so we'll go 3, and then the less than symbol to enter a degree, and then 40 for the degrees. And then the radius of the circle is 0.5. Okay, we're going to be doing lots of circles. So that was the last point entered. Whoops. Let's see. Keep the current. Don't show this message again. Thank you. Windows 7 trying to help us out. So the next circle I'm going to draw, when you're looking at that circular slot that looks like kind of a racetrack or maybe a kidney bean, we're going to begin with a center, which is also at 3, a radius of 3, and the center point is at 0, 0. So let's try that. Let's do circle. We're going to end up with a whole bunch of circles on here, and the center point will be last point entered. Whoops. Start that over. Circle, and center point, I would just press enter, and that should, okay, we'll press 0, 0 for our circle, and then the radius will be 3. And that's that center circle passing right through the center of those two. Alright, then we will use circle and draw the next radius circle that is actually a ½ inch larger. Okay, so circle, and the center point will be 0, 0, and then the radius of it will be a ½ inch larger, so that would be 3.5. Okay, and then press enter again. Okay, 0, 0 for the center, and we want it another ½ inch larger, so it'd be 4. Then we draw another circle, and it'd be a ½ inch smaller than our 3 inch, so it'd be 2.5. 0, 0 for the center, 2.5. And then one more. Press enter to get the circle command back. 0, 0 for the circle, center, and the radius will be 2. Okay, and that will make up all of our kind of our racetrack design that we have on there. Okay, now we need a circle where its center is where this one was. We could have drawn the additional circle when we drew this one. So now we'll have to create a center that's 40 degrees from here and at 3 inches and 40 degrees. So circle, okay, center point would be 0, 0, and then the whoops, circle, enter, okay, center point will be relative move, 3, less than symbol, and 40. Okay, and then the radius for this one, it says on the drawing, is 1. Then we need a circle here, so I'll use the command ID, enter, and return to my center point, 0, 0, and that creates the last point entered. To use my next circle command, C, enter, and the center point will be a relative move 3, 0. And the radius will be 1. Right? I've now created all the circles that I can that make up the various designs, and then we'll need to do some trimming to create that racetrack and then or kidney bean shape, that's circular slot. Then we'll create 2 more arcs that will represent the outside shapes. So let's go to trim, T-R-I-M, and the first thing it wants to know is select cutting edges. So what I like to do, I'll zoom out, is just do a crossing window, moving from right to left, and make everything a cutting edge. Right? Then I'm finished selecting cutting edges, so I press enter, or you can right click, and I'm going to trim off by clicking down here at the lower right all those circles. Now I'm still in the cutting or trim mode. I'm going to zoom a little bit, and now I want to finish my design, so I'm going to clip or trim to the sides here, and then need to trim out the slot shape. Now, circles are drawn in the counterclockwise, so you need to trim in a counterclockwise fashion. Alright, I'll just leave that center line there. Press enter when you're finished. Next, we're going to draw the large arc over here. That's a 5-inch radius. So we go to our circle panel, our draw panel, and our circle command, and we pick tangent, tangent, radius. And you pick up here, notice the little 3 little dots after my O-snap symbol. That means it's a deferred tangent. It's waiting for more information. So I'll just hover until I see that. I know it's going to connect somewhere near the top, the way the design looks. So I'll pick over here, and then I pick over here because it's going to connect about in that area. And then it wants to know the radius, and I'll key in 5, and we'll trim that up. You can type TR, enter. That's the shorthand for trim, and we'll use this, and this is our trimming cutting edge. And I like hitting the space bar instead of the enter key to continue the command, and then in a counterclockwise, so I'll pick over here on the left hand side. Okay, and then enter when I'm finished, and then go back to tangent, tangent, radius, and this one's going to connect somewhere in here and somewhere down here, and it's a 3-inch radius. And then TR, enter for trim. Pick this circle as a cutting edge, and this one as a cutting edge. Press the space bar or enter or right click to continue, and trim over here on the left hand side. And press enter again. Alright, so that gets you the basic shape. We won't cover in this particular chapter how to change line types. We'll do that later, so I'm going to delete that center. And this is what your finished product should be when you turn it in to me.